Hey, it's Alex Joungblood, and I wanted to show you this video today to show you how you can find the cash buyers that will absolutely pay the most in your market. Now, let me ask you a question. Where do you find cash buyers that are buying properties for the most amount of money? That's at the auctions, your local foreclosure auctions. They are buying these properties sight unseen most of the time. They're buying them without having to inspect them, and they're just buying them based off numbers alone. And in order to compete in an auction, you have to pay the absolute most to get that property. So what I'm going to show you is how you can locate these auction buyers very strategically, and also find how you can contact them so you can get your deals in front of them. Now, one thing you could do going to the auction to find these buyers is actually going to the auction yourself and standing down there and handing out business cards. Now, I've done that before, and it's not well received. A lot of these people think that you're trying to steal their deal or you're trying to creep in on their business, and they really don't want to talk to you. So right now, this is the easier way to go about getting in contact with these buyers. We're going to use this software here. And the first thing what we're going to do is we are going to put our city and we're going to search for that. So this is one of my cities. This is where some of the foreclosure activity is happening. And this is exactly how you can do it. So you have these tabs up here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on foreclosures. It's important that we don't click on pre-foreclosures auctions, but foreclosures. These are properties that have been sold. They've either been taken back by the bank or sold at auction to a cash investor. So let's click on that. So we're going to click on that. That's going to bring up the properties in your neck of the woods. You are going to simply click on records. You're going to click add to list. You're going to click create new, and you're going to create a name for your list, and then you're simply going to click save. Now, once you do that, the properties are then going to be listed over here in your properties tab. So for instance, the list that I created is right here. And now I have a list that I can download of these properties. Okay, now watch. This is where this gets really, really cool. All right, so what we want to do is we want to make sure on this gear icon here that we have most of this information checked out. It's important that we have the owner name, and it's important that we have the, let's see here, we want to make sure that the MLS tab is checked as well for MLS status, date, amount, agent phone, MLS agent name, MLS agent email, and we could just check all these, right? So now we know what agent is involved with this property. And you might say to yourself, Alex, why do I need to know about an agent? We don't want to deal with agents, do we? Well, let me show you. This is the first thing that we are going to do, okay? So this not only is going to get you and find you the auction buyers, but this is also going to really give you an idea of what's going on in your market. So scroll over to owner one, last name. We're going to click this button here and we're going to sort it. So now all of the buyers in my area are sorted. So now I can see the the buyers that are buying multiple times. I can also see the names of their company. And you see, like here, Fannie Mae. This is Fannie Mae buying properties back at auction that didn't get sold to an auction buyer. But if you look at this, you can see the names of these auction buyers, which is absolutely amazing, right? But that's not all. This is where it gets even better. If I simply scroll over to this right here. So you see where it says MLS status? This is huge right here because this means the investor bought the property and it's already listed on the market right now. So if I was to click on this property right here, actually this was Fannie Mae that bought this property and they've actually listed it. Let's see here. Well, one thing we could do is we go up here on MLS status, and now we can see all the active properties, right? And pending as well. So pending properties that are being sold. If I scroll back over, I know, let's see, that this company right here is an auction buyer. and I could see the MLS details. I could see that they just pulled this property off the market for whatever reason. But you know what? I don't care about that. What I care about is that these people are actually auction buyers. And this is what I want. This is the most important thing. I can see the listing, the brokerage email, and the listing agent email, and even the phone number. So I could go through, or have a virtual assistant go through and take all these properties that are already active and back on the market, like I just showed you here, and go and get these people and contact them when I have a deal. And I'm going to be contacting auction buyers, the best possible buyers out there in any market. And this is what you are going to say to these people, right? You're going to say, listen, I saw that you just bought a property over on 901 Leek Street, and I saw that you represented this buyer who I see is buying at the auction all the time. So I've got a deal. I want to see if your buyer might be interested, because I'm sure you are listing the property repetitively for this particular investor. So I'm sure you want to get more commission, right? Yep. Okay. And you can work it like that. And most buyers that we work with along those lines with those agents, they simply want the property that they can list it for that agent or for that investor, and they're going to get commission, and they're happy with that. And if for whatever reason you have to build commission into the deal for them, you can do it that way too. But that all starts with being able to control this data and being able to see who is buying at the auction, and then also seeing what that they've listed, turn around and listed it, and they are selling it. Other things you can do here. Let's see. Let's look at these ones that are pending. Yep. See, here's another investor. Actually looks like they're out of Georgia, which is interesting in this situation. We can go to MLS details, we can look back, and we can see who the agent is and the information for the agent, and we can call them up and do the exact same thing, or we can send them an email. So it's really amazing. See, here's the agent email right there. It's really amazing what we can do with the power of having this data at our hands. Another thing we can do is we can look and see what these properties are being sold for at the time of auction. So one thing you could do is you can download this entire spreadsheet, and what you would do is you can sort it in a couple different ways. One of the ways that you would sort it would be coming over here to the owner name like we did before, just sort by owner name. And you can go in here, and maybe they don't have these properties already listed and sold just because this is just an auction report from November, but you can click on the property. You can see how much they paid for it. You can see this is what it went for at the auction. So you can get a really good idea of what would be a good wholesale price for a property and what they're going for at auction. So it's again a really powerful tool. There's no other tool right now that I know of that you can do this in such a streamlined way. So if you're interested in using this kind of tool, click the link below, get a free trial, and check it out and see if it doesn't help you in your business.